Privet, Kakila. Menu Zavut Mark, Dobry Pajala, Moiskulu. Hi everybody, this is Mark. Welcome to this week's Classic Martial Arts. We're going to go over something today that has come up having to do with thrusting. And there are some statements that have been made by people who know nothing about Middle Eastern and Near Eastern weapons and saying that it's impossible to thrust with them. So, we're going to go ahead and do some demonstrations and show how to thrust with them. Let's get started. Our first sword for the test is going to be the Karbala, this sword right here. This sword comes from Persia. So, we're going to go ahead and we're going to use this to thrust and to have fun stabbing targets. All right, then we can cut them. All right, let's get started. So, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to talk about this a little bit before I do it. So let's talk about this before I do it. One of the problems is that in European fencing, they're used to doing stabbing like this, but the blade is curved. So the blade, you want to do this with the blade, not this with the blade. You can come around and stab downward. So, when we stab a target, we want to what? We want to use the curve of the blade to do things like that. So I picked it back up and I want you to see, that way you can see it was quite effective and it's thrust and it is also basically bleeding itself out. So, you saw what? An inverted thrust with a Karbala. Alright, so next up on the list is the Shamshir, good old favorite, you know, from Middle East, Near East, and also used by what? Zaporozhian Cossacks and many others. So we have a Shamshir. So I'd say that's a pretty good thrust. So let's try a Circassian Sheshka. Right through. Last up, M1881 Sheshka, military Sheshka. So what have I demonstrated? I demonstrated with 4 different blades: the military Sheshka, the Circassian Sheshka, the Karbala, and the Shamshir. All are fine for the thrust, but it requires a different technique than what is used with European blades. So if you know nothing about the blade, it makes sense that you'd say, make a statement, you can't thrust with these. As you've seen, all these blades have thrusted very well through the targets without any resistance. So, again, a little knowledge goes a long ways. Thank you for watching. You want to say do svidaniya, na zdоровье, goodbye to yourself. Увидимся только. Paka paka. Bye bye.